As we welcome you back to the Fairways of Life show, coming to you live this week from St. Andrews here for the AIG Women's Open. Super excited about it because everywhere you go here, you are surrounded by history, some of it very significant, some of it certainly very ancient indeed. Roger McStravick is here with me. He is an award-winning author, historian, much of it centered around the game of golf, too, for our purposes here today. Roger, it's good to see you. How have you been?
Good to see you. Doing well, thanks. Doing well.
All right, so let's dive into this. First of all, St. Andrews, if you would allow, I'd like to start, I know it's blasphemy to say this, I'd like to start before the golf. What was it that established St. Andrews? Why was this such a significant place? And how long was it such before golf was even a thought?
Do you know what? It was almost like a home of God for people in Scotland. You know, St. Andrews was, the bones of St. Andrew the Apostle were here. So it was a place of pilgrimage. And people would travel from all over just to be near the bones of St. Andrew. And that went on for hundreds of years. And the life and the economy of the town was based around this, you know, this pilgrimage. So it was the leather makers were making shoes. There was an inn. There was a guest house. You know, really similar to what it is today. But in those days, it wasn't the golf. It was St. Andrew they were coming to be near.
It's amazing. So before we jump into the golf, which I do want to jump into, talk to me about the university and the connection between the university and the stepping stone back to prosperity.
So the university was started around 1413 or so, which is also around the time then golf really started. You know, golf started somewhere between 1424 and 1457. So they sort of go hand in hand. So we've got a lot to thank the university for. So the university was an institution and attracted, you know, the students from wealthy families. That's the thing about St. Andrews. Nothing really changes. It's still the same dynamic today, you know. But it was a powerful institution and has been, you know, even when times were really hard. You know, and the university at one point did consider moving to Perth because it got so hostile sometimes between the locals and the students. And thankfully they didn't move to Perth. But the golf in St. Andrews and the university just are hand in glove, really.
How important, and I realize this is a wide net to cast, how important is the old course, whether historically or present, to the game of golf?
It's priceless. Really, you know, people say, oh, who designed the old course? And largely, I say God, you know, because it was nature and wind that created those bunkers. Those bunkers were just blown. You know, they were there before the golf course, you know, and that's why they're called bunkers, because sheep used to sleep in them, really, you know. It's all quite basic stuff. It was just a natural course. And it was perfect for golf because all year round, and in fact, we as locals play more in winter than we do in summertime, you know. But the ball just runs a mile, you know, the sandy, free-draining soil, you know. But it is unbelievable. And it is the only course that I know that gives you that sort of, tingle down the back. You're just like so nervous, you know. I think there's lots of famous stories about people getting too nervous, you know. Even Eisenhower. The great General Eisenhower came to the first tee, and I read in a local clipping it said, please leave the general, just watch him on the first and 18th and let him play his golf. And the general came to the first hole, and there were thousands there waiting to see the great general. And he basically said, I don't fancy this, and walked the first hole. So you'll see photographs of the general, and they're all laughing, you know, he's laughing. And they're, you know, his hosts are laughing. They're just walking off the tee together. But he couldn't face it, you know. And it's the widest fairway, like 165 yards. But when you're standing over the ball, it just seems to just close in, you know. It is the most nervous shot in golf, you know.
We were talking about prominent people who have played here, save for Queen Mary. And I think about Bobby Jones. I think about the great champions at the Open here. I think about the people who have competed in the Open over the years. We have a third Women's AIG Open here this week, which is in and of itself historic. When you think about the significance of that and the way virtually all of the greats. Again, I think about Bobby Jones. I think about Tiger Woods in particular, about his love for the old course at St. Andrews. To me, it's the same way, Roger. It's the chill up the back.
Oh, it is, absolutely. But if you stand on the steps beside the 18th green and look at the 18th green, you will get flashbacks and images. There's Bobby Jones being carried off the green. There's Seve holding his putt. There's Jack Nicklaus driving it over the back of the green, in 78. It is like a movie set, and you can't help but feel like when you step onto that grass, it's like, you're somewhere special. It truly is, and, Tiger Woods, Tommy Morris, Tom Morris, Alan Robertson, all these great names have stood on that course. And when you get to hit the shot, it's still just one person and a ball and a club, It's truly historic, and it does have a special feeling.
It's amazing, and it's very, very cool indeed. From your writing to the fact that we can sit here right now and wax about the history of the old course and the significance of it, right down to why golf is 18 holes, etc. You've devoted a lot of your life and time and passion to celebrating this place, and for that we say thank you, my friend.
Oh, no, you're very welcome. Very welcome.
It's good to see you.
Cheers. Thank you.
We'll be back with more.